Hi everyone. Today I'm going to start with XRP, and the first chart I'm going to show you is a daily chart that I have. And again, this is the long-term history of XRP. Yeah? But I'm going to zoom in. These are all projected targets I have along the way. By the way, we're not talking about that today. What we're looking at here is in this pattern on daily. Is you can see the pattern as the example here. You get a lift, a second lift. Sometimes you get a third lift, you get a drop. A lift, third top, and then a drop. This one here is it pumped up, yeah. So you can see the pattern where again it pumped. Here's the same pattern again. It dropped. Same pattern here. Pumped, dropped, pumped, dropped. Same, but you can see the same pattern over and over and over. And it seems like we're here again. And it looks like it's at a decision time. And on the daily, it looks like it's going to drop, to be honest. It looks like the daily's just gone red here. And I reckon that that's topped out. And that we're going to head down, yeah. And I do believe that potentially we're going to hit a target of around, unless it's 25. I think I've other ones where it's a little lower, it's about 23, yeah. I'm probably a little bit tight on my margins here, yeah, my channels. But around there, there's 25. I think it's around 23, 24, yeah. The only thing I'm still watching out for is that you get a short breather here, and we get a bounce, and it continues on up. I do believe it's going to break down, but I'm still mindful of that retrace. We'll have a look at it, yeah. So here is my 4-hour arcs here. You can see it working down through the bear channel. It's been a particularly big one. This might even be an 8-hour arc, to be honest. So when I stretch it out here, you can see skyline, first spike, resistance peak, second spike. Looks like we're just done mid-range high. You get a lift, excuse me, and then you get a drop. And again, here's where I've measured it a little bit more accurately. And the target looks like it's about 23.50 or so. This will be third spike, yeah. And again, you can see it coming down this channel here. Is that it's a well confirmed channel, yeah. So it doing that would make sense. It'd fit in with the arc. Now this arc's going to play out like that. So if this is mid-range high, if I just drew it out a little bit, I'll actually do it. I'm just doing this by hand, but just to give you an idea of the pathway, yeah, the potential pathway. Here's that. There you go. Okay, so if I'm correct here, is third spike. Back up to around the mid-30s again, and what we'll get is we get a double top, and then a first drop. The first drop could potentially come back down to the line again, and then we head up for a mountain peak. A mountain peak normally measures very close to resistance peak, so we could get a spike through this channel. Again, everybody thinks, oh my God, we're going for breakout. We're going for breakout. It's only mountain peak, but we got to come back down for third drop. So third drop will take us down. Let's say again. Just do this by eye, and we'll have final peak, final bounce, and then I believe we may have our proper breakout. And this is where we start going up and testing around the 90 cent or the dollar, yeah. And that would facilitate this arc, yeah. And it would be a massive consolidation at the bottom. By the time it's done, it'll be something like this. And we'd have our 1, 2, 3 touches to the bottom. We'd have a triple bottom, and then that gives us our lift, and back up we go, yeah. It's even looking like a Wyckoff. Is a Wyckoff accumulation?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. So it makes sense. It makes sense potentially for this to happen, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Now on this time frame here, closer zooming in, and just looking at it on the triangle here, and then the channel at the moment is on the 1 hour. Is we're having a bit of a retrace. The 55 on the daily is at 37.48. So we spiked, we wicked to it, and then we wicked through it. Equally, Bitcoin is doing the same thing. It touched it twice, yesterday and today. Seems like it's a rejection. ETH seems like it's in a rejection on the daily as well. So it does look like the rejection is in. It's just a question of how far is it going to go, yeah? So really what I want to see with this channel is a breakout of it. So the breakout of this channel is at 36.38. You get a drop down, and then you get a back test. So I'm expecting where it'll drop back, it'll back test, and then head on down, yeah. And again, this channel here this is a real tester as well. Is we want to make sure that it doesn't just bounce off this channel and then head on back up, because it could do that as well, yeah. My fib target for this is 31.67. 31.67. So I suspect if it is going to be a deeper spill down, is we'll get let me see here now. We get the touch to here, we get a lift back up, and then we get the spill down, yeah. Something like that, yeah. If it is. And then here, this chart, I'll zoom out to the 4 hour. So again, just so you can remind you what it is and the zoomed out. Is I've changed this. I had this up at 46. I brought this down to 41 because I think that the range here, the max is 41. Yeah, could it still pop up to 41? Yes, it could. Yeah, we could have that retrace, and then a bounce up, and it could go up. I still think after that, more likely the chances are is gonna come down. Yeah, I think this wedge here is gonna create the triple bottom. Yeah. Even on a bigger scale here, you can see, look, here's a touch, one more touch here, and then it starts to come around, yeah. You can see the target down here at 23.77. Remember I showed you these lines. Remember to see this blue line here? See, it's a resistance line, then a support line. It's a center line, and it's a resistance, and then it's a support, and it's a support. Is this line here it's a support, it's a resistance, it's a breakthrough here, but then it looks like it's going to fail, so it's going to end up being a resistance line. And then I think the final drop, again, is going to break out of here and then find its way all the way back down on this center line and finding it as support again. And it would match in with the wedge here. It would match in with this greater wedge, yeah. And then I reckon that's most likely going to be the bottom, yeah. And then you can see these channels, these red channels here. If it breaks back in, isn't just finding its way through these channels all the way down to here. So that's what I'm looking at, yeah. Again, we may get up as far as 41.70 or so before it does the drop as well. Yeah. I don't think it's going to, but it may do, simply because I'm looking at this pattern here. Yeah, is 41. 41 is all the way up around here. I don't think it's going to get that far, just from past experiences with these guys. You can see how much they can wick through. They like to do double tops. Double tops. This one was a greater one. This did get higher on this one. Again here, you can see the way it plays out. Here as well. So yeah, one of the things I'm mindful of if it is going to go up, that let's say this is the top now, we get a back test, turns around, and then it pops up, and then it starts to break up even more. Yeah, I am mindful that this may still be in play. I don't think it is, but I'm mindful of it. If that did happen, the target would be 46. The target would be 46. Yeah, 46. I don't see it going up and up and up and up and up and up without having retraces. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. So yeah. So that's what I'm mindful of. It's just the same information on my 15-minute arc. Here's another arc pattern. So I think other than that, I could just start going through the MAs and the stocks, and there's an awful lot of the stocks need a reset. On the hours, a lot of the hours need a reset. Sorry for the plane there. So I won't go through them all. It's just they need a reset. And then on the daily is, again, you can see that the dailies after turning into a red candle at the moment. Yeah. So that's it. Let's see what happens. So I suppose maybe just be a bit more accurate about targets here. Here we go. My caution is with this correction is it may just bounce back to the 5 MA on the daily at 36. So that's one to watch for. Is it may come back to the 20 EMA on the daily, because you can see the rejection on the 55. It may just bounce back to the 20 EMA at 34. What are we doing now? 34, 37. So these are the ones I'd watch out for. If it breaks both of these, is for sure then we're coming back for the deeper correction, and I will put the 786 as the target down here at 3170 or so. I reckon there will be a bounce back from that, and then I think it's going to head on down. I don't think the retrace is going to be that big, and then I think it's actually going to head on down and break out. If we get the full correction here, I think that's a signal for the down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. If it's going to catch its breath here and head on up, there is a target, and the target up here would be, I'll just put a number on it. The target up here would be around 45 or so at the 100 MA there, yeah? Around 45. I don't think it's going to get as far as 48. And that would be to the back, the top here. You can see the top of this consolidation phase. It'll be back up to the top of that, yeah. So, and then just one more thing is, if this does bounce, it may just come back to the top of this drop here, which again is around the 41 mark. So now let me be just a little bit clearer again, because I've threw all this out. It's in a retrace at the moment. You've got to be careful at 36. If it breaks 36, great. It's going to continue down. If it breaks 34, 37, I think we're heading down for 3170. We may get I reckon we'll get a lift and then a drop, and we'll spill again, heading down for 23 and a half or so, yeah. Is if it turns here at 36 and heads on up, or it turns at 34, 37 and heads on up, is the next target I'd be looking at is the top of this breakout at 41 or so. So if it tops out at 41 and begins to retrace, again we're looking at the correction of the impulse, and again potentially the greater spill. If it breaks above the top of this breakout here at 41.12, I think then it's probably going to start heading up to the top of this impulse at about 46. Top of this one here is at 46, 46.32 or so, yeah. So they would be the targets. After that, if it gets that far, I reckon then, of course, it's going to come back down and have a breather as well. It'll go into a consolidation phase here. Or it'll spill and consolidation phase here, yeah. So they're the targets I'm looking at, yeah. They're the pathways. So let's see what happens. I'll hand you over to Mihaela now. Let me just pull up her charts.
Morning, Lee. Morning, O'Neill.
Hey guys.
Morning, you okay?
We're good, yeah?
Yes.
Now, let me... That's yours there. There we go.
Thank you. Now, let's see. I'll start with Bitcoin because the levels are easier to follow on Bitcoin. Look at this massive channel we are in. So this is the channel that I keep posting and that I keep following and I keep tweaking. And I'm gonna change to the 4 hour because we've had a lot of sideways. Because I want you to see the levels that I'm watching today. So I am in a short. I am watching for a correction, at least down to this line, which is 22.5. So this is the resistance line of this channel. So where it should come back, do a retest, and if I switch back to the 1 hour, just for you to see that nice MA confluence. So the 22.5 is the 55 EMA on the 1 hour, which is where it generally bounces off and does another leg up. I am looking to exit the short at that retest because I believe it will do another leg up. If that line holds, if that MA holds, and if the channel holds, then I do anticipate a lift up to the 25 area. Well, the 25 area is... the 25 area would be the initial target. Let's say, let's be conservative and say 24.8. However, we have technically broken out of this sideways consolidation. There will be a retest of that. So if this retest holds, the technical target of this is 20. I had a more narrower target last night, but tonight I refreshed my channels, and the technical target for that would be 27K. And again, I will be quite conservative and say 26.7, where these two bottoms are here. But somewhere between 27, the measured move that it has, and 26.8, that would be it. So I would be looking to follow it up if it bounces off here. But I would need to see a nice reset of the 1 hour RSI in the meantime. At the moment, there is no reset of the 1 hour RSI, and it is desperately screaming for it. It might not. Like I'm looking at it, thinking it might come back for a retest, and I believe that momentum is too overextended for it to do another lift of where it is now, 6%, or if it wants to go to the 27, if it wants to go to the 27, that would be another 16%. So I would say it is overextended, but then we have ETH on the other side that has done a 60-something lift without any major correction in the 1 hour RSI as well. So anything can happen. We are in, I believe, breakout territory, and that's the volatility and the market manipulation of it says it. But that's what breakouts are. This is how they behave. We need to trade them accordingly. So I've two levels that I'm watching for today. for the moment, at least until New York sets another benchmark. I'm watching the line of the channel, and that channel is somewhere around the 23.7, basically another higher high. Another higher high would be another, it would be the break upwards from this channel, and if I'm to move the target here, another higher high would take us to 25, again, the region of 25. I would be conservative and put it down to 24.8 if you are in longs. That would be the level for the long. The level for a correction would be the 55. The most conservative level would be the 55 on the 1 hour, which is the retest of the support and resistance channel it's broken out of. If that level holds, there might be another lift up. So that's where I'm looking at on the channel and in the space that we're in at the moment. It is holding a beautiful MA support on the daily. It is holding the 50 on the daily. It's back tested it. There's the 5, the 10, and the 20 coming up for support. On the smaller time frames, we are starting to lose a little bit, but that's perfectly normal. It happens when it comes down to retest the 50 on the 1 hour, which is again quite the same level, 22.5. And the 50 on the 1 hour is again the dynamic support of this whole swing. If you're looking at it, it went up above the 50 and it held it with this exception here, but it's still this was a bear trap here. Then it got above it and continued. So this is where we are. I believe that as long as support holds, especially on the bigger time frames, the momentum upwards will continue. I believe that the momentum upwards will continue, and I am looking for that small correction to exit the short and to enter a long if the RSI signals are right, and follow it for one leg up. Ethereum might be leading the way for the correction. So Ethereum on the 1 hour, because of its steep angle, it came up at a much steeper angle, and it only retested the 50 twice. So there were fewer retests than Bitcoin. It wasn't as, how can I say, as gradual as Bitcoin's. We can clearly see the bottom formation, level 1, level 2, level 3. It's testing the 50 right now. So Ethereum is testing the 50 right now. Will Ethereum show us the way to this correction? Maybe. Maybe. It definitely was the one that was more passive yesterday. It only stayed sideways. It didn't do a higher high. It absolutely stayed sideways. And I'm keeping the same targets for the correction. A 382 correction would be the 1350. The first level is the 1450, of course. The next level is the 1350. But I believe that the more logical way would be to come down to the 0.5 at 1280. And I'll show you why. Why am I losing my voice today? I'm looking at Ethereum doing what I anticipate Bitcoin will do, which is backtest the sideways channel that it's broken out of. So this is the sideways channel. It's a bit lower than where there it is, where Bitcoin's is. But here it is a backtest of the 12. I said 1280 just to give it a couple of points, because I know how those points can be quite important in terms of targets for Ethereum. So Ethereum has met the technical target of this channel to a T for the break upwards. There it is. only a couple of points, 1633, 1613. So that's it. And now, if the next level would be 1720, or if I am to be a little bit more, there we go, a little bit more, choose more of a center line rather than just the support line here, it would be 1800s. A lot of people are talking about going back to the top of this swing at 1800. Again, it's done a massive move without too much of a retracement. This move has been 62%. So a back test of this would ensure a nice solid base for the leg up. And to 1800, that would be another 17%. So I'll show you on Ethereum, because the levels are so neat and it's easy to see the impulse wave. The impulse wave that I have in mind for it to go to the 1800 would be, this would be the 1, and that would be the 2, and this would be the 3, this would be the 4, and then this would be the 5.
Yeah, it would have to be the first wick down for 2, because it's low.
This one is lower?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that wouldn't break any Elliott waves, and it would look like a balanced wave up. It would look like a balanced wave up. And again, if it backtests the 1270 and that backtest holds, it would be a good trade to follow upwards. If of course that backtest fails and it starts heading down, we are heading down, back down into this area. So we're not like this would be the initial space to follow. That's it. In summary, I expect a backtest to the 55 EMA on Bitcoin, and a backtest to the resistance line, and then another leg up. This is what the EMAs.
You mean the 20? Is it 20 on the daily?
The 55. I don't know which that is on. Wait. You're speaking in my ear. No, it's not. It's not the 20 on the daily. The 20 on the daily is much lower. It's the 5, a little bit higher. It hasn't got a daily equivalent in MAs, because the MAs are much in different positions. So it's the 55 on the 1 hour, which is this support and resistance line. That's the logical way to backtest. So that's where I believe we are. We need to watch for those supports to hold, and if they do, it's one more leg up. If they fail, it's one more leg down. If this channel fails, I have great faith in my channels. If this channel fails, we are coming down for a lower correction. If the channel holds, then this is one of the accumulation channels that breaks upwards, and it's worth going in to follow it upwards. Have a great day trading, and keep an eye on the charts, because I believe there will be some volatility today and tomorrow.